And I wanted to say, first of all, thank you so much for coming out. But this question's in relation to the entertainment industry and being in crisis. As we all know, MGM's up for sale. My question to you is, what happens if an unconventional player like Google, who has the cash and also has the platform in YouTube, comes in and buys MGM and revolutionizes the distribution channels for movies like Apple did with music? What do you guys think that does for your investment in the industry in general?
That's a really bad question. You started. Why don't I mean, it's kind of a technical question, so let me take the first stab and Rob can jump on. MGM is a different kind of a venue than Miramax. It's a great company. It's always been a great company. The greatest part about it is Kirk Kerkorian has bought and sold it 3 times, made money every time. The guy is...
Sometimes during the course of a movie I was making for him.
Yeah. One of the best human beings. There's a great example of humility and somebody who's fantastic. But why would Google or anybody like Google at the moment not want to do that? They do not want to do that because there may not be much residual value in the unused portion of that film library. So what might Steve Jobs be thinking and saying, if I have, and I'm just theorizing, right? So you have, I mean, and to catch up, it's a really good question. So what happens is distribution, we own all this stuff. And if you think about it like office buildings, you've got office buildings with tenants, but the tenants are only paying for the next 24 months. And then what the world might be telling you is they're only paying for the next 24 months, and then there may not be tenants. Because we all may be dialing 1-800 numbers to India, and you don't need workers in these buildings. And everything is being manufactured in China, and we don't need workers in these plants. So you're going to get paid for 24 months, but on the other side of 24 months, there may not be anything. So Steve Jobs comes in and says, well, you know what? Instead of me buying all of that and paying whatever multiple, MGM, by the way, was bought at a 10 times multiple of EBITDA. We're buying Miramax at a 4 times multiple of EBITDA. The restructuring of MGM will be at beyond a 6 times multiple of EBITDA. It's expensive. He doesn't need to do that. Why? Because what he'll do now is to say, I'm going to rent to you. You can't buy Pulp Fiction. You can rent Pulp Fiction for me on your PDC for 75 cents. He then will come to MGM, to Miramax, to everybody else and say, okay, guys, the biggest buyer of your product now is me. I'm going to buy the distribution, much cheaper than I would ever have to buy this company. And I'm going to have everybody hostage because my customer can't buy, and you're not going to be able to sell because as I ramp up distribution, I'll be to 150 million very, very quickly. So the multiple for him to buy a library that then he has to worry about distribution elsewhere. He just wants to worry about what do I distribute through my system. He'll get what he wants much less expensively from us. I mean, we're making those deals every day. So what happens with Miramax, we have a dedicated team. Who are they selling to? Exhibitors. So the exhibitors say, great, I want a bigger piece of the pie. I'm tired of just being paid from popcorn and Pepsis. DVD business is down. DVD business is down, but Blu-ray is moving up. Video on demand, a fledgling business, growing exponentially. Pay-per-view, on and on and on. So now you have all of these buckets, foreign distribution, and everybody's recasting what's there. So what Steve Jobs would have to do is to say, I'm going to build a distribution network that in addition to buying what I have, because buying what he has, after a while, you're going to get tired of watching Pulp Fiction. He doesn't need to do it. He's got the best business because he's got the distribution. So he can buy it from us so cheap, sell it to you even cheaper, and continue to do new product after new product after new product, because as he builds up distribution, if all of you like watching these movies on PDC, that becomes the dominant distribution mechanism, and he'll control everything. He'll control the whole process back to making the movies, just like the cable networks, right? TV, whoever thought ABC and NBC would be irrelevant? They're irrelevant.